So in this lesson, guys, we're just going to focus on quadratics, and we will be nearly done with quadratics by today. Okay. And we were drawing quadratic graphs. I know you guys are doing all these different topics at school, but how is the delivery from the school? Are you guys understanding the topic taught at school, like in depth? When I say someone said, for example, you guys are doing Pythagoras. Okay, Pythagoras, Jeff, it shouldn't be, it's supposed to, it's an year nine topic, really. Okay, you guys are doing inequalities. Some of you guys are doing bounds, trigonometry, SOHCAHTOA, right? So all that stuff, are you guys understanding really well? Like you, when I say understanding really well, there's no questions from your side. Did that make sense? And when you practice some past exam questions, you are okay. Did that make sense? Yeah. That should be the state with every single topic. So in case if you have some missing knowledge, I would encourage you guys to go to the platform, check out Masterclass. Some of you guys who joined recently, you haven't checked out Masterclass. You guys need to check it out. Okay. So after next lesson, there will be an assessment for you guys coming up. I'll take you through how to do the assessment. The assessment will be based on what we have done for some of the topics. Yeah. And it's you guys, I'll take you through it. It's on the platform. You just need to type in the right answer, and there will be video solution for the right assessment. So the marks will be given as well. All right. So let's get on with quadratics. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to give you a quick revision on what we did. Okay. Yes, mine, it will be on the platform. Okay. So I'll give you a quick revision on what we did last week, and then we will make some real progress. I'm sure whatever I'm teaching right now should be covered in year 10. And we don't want, are you guys listening to me? Yeah. We don't want to leave quadratics at whatever I'm teaching right now at this level to be learned or something left over to be learned in year 11. Because in year 11, I don't teach this. Year 11, I assume quadratics is already taught. So right now, we're going in depth into quadratics, okay? So firstly, we learned last week y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. That is the general form of a quadratic equation. Do anyone have any issue with that? In case if you missed that lesson, go back and rewatch it, all right? We could also write y equals, instead of y, you could write f of x as well. This is the quadratic curve. It's called what? The shape of the curve, guys, there was a name for it. It's called a parabolic or parabola, all right? Parabola curve. Now, if the number in front of that x square, very important, if it's a positive, it's a smiling curve, all right? If it's negative, then it's a sad curve. So before even you guys draw it, draw the curve or sketch the curve, whatever, you should be able to understand or just imagine, visualize the nature of this curve. Now, depending on how the shape of the curve is, you do have a turning point. Turning point is where the curve takes a turn, a sharp turn. Now, if it's a is positive, then your turning point can be further categorized into minimum and maximum. Is that clear? That was a quick revision on the graph. Everyone, any further questions? Yeah? Okay, great. Now, we also did basics of quadratic, which was to expand, you get a quadratic expression, and you go back, you're factorizing it back, isn't it? And we were solving a quadratic equation as well. And when we solved a quadratic equation, it always was equal to zero, which means you're trying to find uh, you're trying to find what? The roots or the solution of a quadratic equation. And it happens to be when y is equal to 0 in most cases. All right, that means these are the roots. We're finding where that curve is intersecting on the y-axis. So that was roots. We would solve it. To find y-intercept, you just need to put it in the right equation. If you put it in the right equation format, which is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, then this c, the digit at the end, is the y-intercept. And if you wanted to work out the coordinates of that turning point, we will learn a topic called completing the square method later on. But so far clear. Is this clear to you guys? Okay. Now, we also did something like this. A quadratic curve can have maximum two solution. If you draw a line like that, a line like this, like that, which however you draw it, the line will only intersect two times. That's the max. So possible solution, two. If it touches once like this, just like that, we have what? A tangent. We will talk about that later. That's, you have to find equation of a tangent in year 11. All right. So understanding it is important. So we only have one solution. Sometimes you guys don't have a solution. Now, that is not a possible criteria at this point, unless you guys are doing IGCSE, which we will cover later on. Okay? Yes. Okay, so now you guys are going to do this factorizing. Most of you guys have learned how to factorize in school. Now, I am just going to spend another 10 minutes on the easy version, and we are going to learn the harder version. The harder versions, so when there is an exam and you find this one, you will be happy. I'm going to take you through two methods. So, what is hard and what is easy? You see, when you have a quadratic equation in the format ax squared plus bx plus c, you see that if a is equal to 1, all right, that's a simple version. If ax squared plus bx plus c, and if a is not equal to 1, any other number, okay, 1 or 0, okay? I'll give you some examples. This is the harder one. So, for example, you see this one? This is a simple version of it because the number in front of x squared is, it's not written. That means it is 1. And that comes to this category, simple. Is that clear, guys? So, when you see that, that's a simple quadratic equation given here. So, how many of you guys know how to factorize this? Okay, Nira, I know some of you guys, you know how do you put it? You just put into brackets, right? You guess the number in your brain. Okay, I'm gonna show it, don't worry. You guess the number in your brain and you put it into brackets. Do you guys do that? Well, okay. Some of you, this is more complicated. Don't do it. In case I've seen some students doing it, and don't do that. Watch this. Every single time, you guys make a habit of writing sum. Now, if you don't have the time to write the sum or the patience to write that, just write S. Okay? All right. So sum, and then we have product, and then we have numbers. So sum is always the number in front of X. Okay? Nero, coming to it. So this is minus 2. And the product, listen to me now, because we're going to look at the harder version in some time. And if you lost what I'm teaching you right now, you will struggle. The product is the last digit multiplied with the number in front of x squared. What's the number in front of x squared, guys? It's 1 for now. So it's minus 15 multiplied with 1. That will give us minus 15 itself. Now, I want you to think, if you add or subtract two digit, how would you get, if you add it, you would get minus 2, and if you multiply it, you get 15. Absolutely. So this would be -5 and +3. Would you guys agree? Now, I want you guys to make an important note. You see the speed how I get there, like how I quickly got there, comes from experience. So you cannot, if you have a tough question, don't think you will be able to quickly factorize it. It comes from experience, and you need to know multiplication table quite well. Now, this is it. You see, if you have your product to be a negative number, one of the number, any one of the number must be a negative. Is that clear, guys? Because if you multiply one number negative and another number positive, the answer is always negative. Get it? Yeah? So we know one of our answer must always be negative. That's an observation. Now, in case if you struggle finding those numbers, just quickly think of factors of 15. What are the factors of 15? 1 times 15 and 5 times 3. From that, it will always be from that list. Any questions? And then you just need to put in the signs correctly. Now, with the simple, do anyone have any issue me categorizing this as a simple one? How is it a simple one? It's in the category of simple. Quadratics. Why is it? Can you guys tell me? Why is it simple? A equals 1. The number in front, the number in front of A or the number in front of x square, which is 1. That's why it's in the category of simple. If you get these two numbers, then you can blindly put x minus 5, x plus 3 into the bracket. These are your factors. Done. Okay? Now, listen to me carefully. Did you guys understand how you got your factors? These numbers that you find, you just pair it up with x with the signs and you got your factors. Now, watch this. These factors are equal to 0, correct? Because the original equation is equal to 0. So, we are saying x is equal to +5 and x is equal to -3. How many of you guys understood why we did that? Why we changed? My question is, we changed. You see that negative became positive, that positive became negative. This happens quite a lot. But why did we change it? Okay, listen. You see, we are saying, Nero, perfect. You're saying two digits, n times m must equal to 0. Agree? Yes, the signs would change. Absolutely, Elsha. Yeah. We have two digits when multiplied must equal to 0, which means any one of that digit must be equal to 0. Agree, everyone? Or both must be equal to 0. That has to be the condition that is satisfied. Because when you multiply two things, how would you get 0? At least one of it or both of it must be equal to 0. And therefore, we would say x minus 5 must equal to 0 and x plus 3 must equal to 0. And if you make x the subject, x is equal to 5, x is equal to -3. Got it? So this here, you see the brackets, that's your factor. And these here are your solutions or roots. Now, for this equation, guys, we did not even draw a curve. But without drawing the curve, we found where it is going to be touching on the x-axis. Because we took that number to the other side, and that's how it becomes negative sign. Any questions on this? We're going to do a few more, so you will settle with it. Okay? Let's do a quick few more here. I'm going to go with B here. Okay, guys? So what's the sum for B? It's 5, correct? the number in front of x. What is the product? Product is 4 times 1, which is a 4. What are the two possible numbers? If you add them, you get 5. And if you multiply them, you get 4. So you're struggling. Go for the factors of 4. 2 times 2, 4 times 1. Ah, I got it. It's 4 and 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. 4 times 1 is 4. So how would you put it into a bracket? It would be x plus 4, x plus 1. Done. These are your factors. And what are your solutions, guys? It will be x equals minus 4 and x equals minus 1. Is everyone super clear on this? I would like everyone in here to say yes, please. If you're not, let me know. Super clear? This is the simple version of the quadratic factorization. The simple one. Okay? All right. Now we are moving slowly. How about you guys quickly tell me the answer for this one? All clear. All clear. Okay, it's like you guys are giving me signal for the traffic. All clear and I can move forward. All clear, I can move forward, you know? So what's the sum, guys? Sum is minus 8. What's the product? It's 15. What are the numbers? I don't know the numbers. I'm stuck. I go for the factors of 15. 5 times 3, 15 times 1. Oh, I know 5 times 3 must be the one because somehow I have minus 8 over there. So what are your solutions? That would be minus 5 and minus 3. Correct? So it will be x minus 5, x minus 3. These are your factors. What are your solutions? X equal to 5 and x equal to 3. Okay? But by the way, I know you guys are super clever, and that's sometimes a problem as well. In a good way, all right? You see the sum, product, numbers, you guys don't write it. You don't write it, okay? You try to process in your brain. And sometimes these numbers can change sign. Okay? Dridhi, check it again. Check it again. It wouldn't be. Come on, think about it. Yes, Afan, now we're coming to that. That's the harder one. Yeah. Okay. Going through quite a lot. Before we just get there, we have sometimes something like this. You see, this is just different way of quadratics. So I just want to touch on it. So we have y equals ax squared plus bx. There's no c. What does that mean? What does that mean? No y, of course. Y, c is equal to 0. I know that. But what does that mean to you? One set of brackets? No, 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 not one set of bracket. You can still have two. Oh, very good. I like that. One set of bracket. Okay. But we know one of the value. There is one of it. Okay, okay. Listen to me, guys. You see what the C is? Okay, I'm saying there is a plus C, but this C is not there. That means C is equal to 0. Agree, everyone? Yeah? So, what does a C mean to you? Oops. That app just crashed. Are you guys able to see my screen? It's back. Yeah. I have to, it's time to change my iPad, guys. It's coming to its old age. Gotta get it fixed. So we are, oh no. Okay. So we have our, bear with me, y-axis and our x-axis, yeah? And there we go. We have a quadratic curve looking like that. If there is no c, okay, it can go through the origin. But someone said one solution. It can go like this as well, guys. Don't you think so? because the y-intercept c is 0 right there. Do you get me? Therefore, you can have two solutions. We cannot say one solution. We cannot say it's a tangent, but the y-intercept is at the origin. Did you guys get that? So when you see an equation without the number at the end, what does that mean? One of the solution is always what? One of the solution is always 0. Is that clear? So look at this. We can write x squared equals to 25x. How can we simplify this? Look, we could say if I divide both sides by x and x would cancel, right? So x equals 25. Some students, not all, they just write the solution as 25. And that is incorrect because we can have, what is the other solution, guys? Although you are not able to get it here, the graph will tell you what's the other solution, everyone? The other solution is 0. Is that clear, everyone? Yeah. Addy, here it wouldn't be minus 25. The reason being this is already on the other side. Did that make sense? It wouldn't be, it's not on this side. Okay. So let's do this one quickly. How would you deal with this? We have 3x squared equals to 6x. What I'm going to do, I'm going to divide both sides by x and x squared cancel. So we have 3x equals 6, x equals 6 divided by 3, which is a 2. Okay, so x equal to 2 and x equals 0. Why? Because I did not find a number, a constant. Addy, what's your question? Okay, I have some nice questions popping up. I like this. How is this quadratic? How do you know an equation is quadratic? Do anyone know um, um, what is a quadratic equation? Akash, you're very good. That is correct. The highest power. You see, y equals mx plus c, it's line. Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, it's quadratic. Y equals ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d is cubic. Now, it's quite simple to understand this. You see the power of x here, right there. It's 1. The max power of x here is 2. Max power of x here is 3. So if you have an equation here with the maximum power being 2, that is a quadratic equation. What is a constant? A constant is a number. Like, um, you see there, C, it's just a number on its own. So you might, I'll show you a constant. Do you see this 3 here? That is a constant. Is that okay? I believe I have answered all the questions. None, none here. Okay. Now, do you guys see this one? In fact, guys, I need to, when I made the 2x squared plus 7x plus 3 equal to 0. Give me 1 second. Copy. I want to show you two methods of it. Oh, I didn't want a white page. Um, uh-oh. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. So now we're looking at the harder version of the quadratics, okay? So the harder quadratic equation, and that looks uh, a bit of a trouble here. Resize. Okay. So we have something like this. The question says to solve. Now, we are not going to go through the formula yet. So this is the harder. Why is this the harder, everyone? Because the a is not equal to 0. Agree? So in exam, regardless, they can bring this anytime. Now, there might not be a question asking you to solve, but some probability question will end up with a quadratic one like this. Or some other questions, you might end up with a quadratic expression or an equation which you need to solve. Okay? So this is the harder version. How many of you have done this already at school? Just yes. If you have not done it, don't say anything. Touched it, but not properly. Okay, there are two methods to it. I'm going to show you my method, and I'm going to show you maybe the method you learned at school. So again, this is why I taught you the sum product method, right? That's important. So what's the sum, guys? What's the sum? What's the product? And what are the numbers? Sum is 7. 7. The number in front of x is the sum. What is your product? It's 3 times 2. It's not just 3. It's always, the product is always the number at the end multiplied with 2. So that is 6. So what are the numbers, guys? What are the numbers? If you add them, you get 7, and you multiply them, you get 6. If you don't know, you go for the factors of 6, which is 3 times 2, 6 times 1. And clearly we know it's 6 and 1. Clear? Because only that's the only pair which will somehow get us 6 addition of 7. Okay? So far clear, everyone? This is exactly what we did before. Now watch this. This only works with the harder quadratic equation. We are solving, which means we are finding roots. Okay? We are finding the value of x. So we will write x is equal to, we would take that number. You see that 6? We would change the sign of it. So quickly, the number part is you need to find two numbers. If you add them, you get 7. And if you multiply those same two numbers, you get 6. And from that combination, we figured out 6 and 1. Okay? So what do? We take this 6, we change the sign. When you change the sign, guys, what would it be? It would be a minus 6. Agree? Yeah? And then you would divide it by the number in front of x squared. That's it. Divide by 2. Everyone, did you guys get it? So this is equal to a minus 3 straight away. That's your solution. And now, x equals, do the exact same step with the next number. Do you see what's the next number? We have 1, but we need to change the sign. Why? Because we are taking to the other side. Okay? So we will do minus 1, and we will divide it by the number in front of x squared all the time. So, which is 2 in this case. So that's your other solution, guys. Done. Okay? So this is how you would solve the harder one. We will do a few more examples, but I would like you guys to go through another method, alternate method. I will call it the yuck method for now. Maybe I'll, no. Okay, so 2x squared plus 7x plus 3 equal to 0. All right. Again, of course, we have sum is 7, the product is 6, and the numbers we found was 6 and 1. We know that, right? So what the other method is, we expand the middle term with it. We're using these numbers. Okay, so 2x squared plus 6x plus just an x plus 3 equal to 0. Have you guys done that? Someone have learned this? If you have learned it, they teach, some schools teach you this way. So then you will take the first two terms, factorize it. So you put it as 2x, and then you have x plus 3, and then you copy x plus 3, and the number comes in front, it's equal to 0. So your factors are x plus 3 and 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Now you can solve it. So x equal to minus 3 and x equals to minus 1 by 2. But this method is quite long because up until there, we already did it. But in this method, you will get your answer in one step. So if I number, this is number one and number two, which one did you guys prefer? Number one, yeah? I know. 111. You know, if you take A-level maths, Akash, believe me, when I learned quadratics, I didn't know that this method existed. I didn't know it. And for a few years, I was teaching this. And when I was referring through an engineering book, I found this method and then I switched. Okay? Yeah. So let's do a few more example. Now, even if you don't understand this method, don't worry. This method works all the time. It's a 100% delivery. Okay? Let's go through this question here. I'm gonna go and do every single step. So I would like you guys to follow with me in case if you have any issues, let me know. Okay, Akash, I'll help you to switch, all right? Afan, I'm gonna explain this again. What's the sum here? I would like you guys to know the sum. What's the sum, guys? Product and numbers. Sum is minus 7. What's the product now? Minus 3 times 6. Minus 3 times 6. Addy, it's not 12. Minus 3 times 6, that would be minus 18. Now, what are your numbers? So you have 18. What are the factors of 18? 9 times 2, 18 times 1, 6 times 3. Which combination of number somehow will get you a 7? That's the one. Did you guys get it? How I come with the numbers? Yeah? 6 times 3 is not gonna get you 7. 6 plus 3 is 9. We're talking about minus 7. Okay? So this is, what would it be, guys? It would be minus 9 and a positive 2. Clear? We found the numbers. So far, good. Now all you need to do, x equals, take that number. What do we do, guys? We change the sign, remember? So that'll become positive 9, divide by, what is a number in front of x square? A 6. Simplify it, 3 by 2. Done. That's one of your solution. And then the next one, which is a positive 2, but we will change the sign, so that will become a negative 2. And then we will divide it by a 6. So that would become a minus 1 by 3. Done. These are your solutions. You did not put a minus. Where did I not put a minus? For the 9? The 9 is already negative here, isn't it? Yeah. So this, do you see this minus 9, guys? Yeah, we will go through a few more. Yeah, absolutely. So you see that minus 9, guys. It's already minus. So we need to change the solution, change the sign. And that's how I'm getting a positive 9 here. We just switch the sign because we are already finding the solution. The 9 is on the other side, correct? And then you divide by the number in front of x squared, which is 6. And the same over here, which is 6. And do you see this positive 2? We change the sign of positive 2 to negative 2. And these are just simplified version of the previous fraction. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Hmm. One more. Let's do one more. Let's settle. Let's concrete it. Sum is minus 5. Product is minus 36. I'm multiplying that minus 6 and minus 6 and 6. Sarah, do you want to be with me in this one? Yeah? Try your best. You see, the sum is a number in front of x. Is that okay? That's this. And when I say the product is this minus 6 multiplied with positive 6. 6 times 6 is 36. So if one is minus, it would be minus 36. Now we have to come up with two numbers. If you multiply them, you get minus 36. But if you add them, you need to get minus 5. I'm lost. What would you do? We will find factors of 36. What are the factors of 36, guys? 6 times 6, 12 times 3. What else? We have 6, huh? 9 and 9 and 4. These are the factors, correct? 9 times 4 is also 36. Which of these, and 36 times 1 as well, which of these combination is going to give you a 5? Somehow. That's how I figure out my pair. Do you get me? Yeah? If you're struggling. Sarah, did you get that? Is that okay? So this is the one which will get me somehow a 5. Now all I need to figure out is change the sign to match this. So how about I put minus 9 and a positive 4? If I add that, you get minus 5. If I multiply it, I get minus 36. Sorted. Is that clear, guys? Yeah? Okay. Can I rub this off? Yeah? Now what do? You take x is equal to, take that number, change the sign, 9, and divide by the number in front of x squared, which is 6. So x is equal to 3 by 2. Simplified. And x is equal to, you take this number, change the sign, that would become negative 4. Divide by the number in front of x squared, which is s6. And that is minus 2 by 3. Done. And those are your solutions. Is that clear, guys? This would be about 3 to 4 marks secured. So how would it be in the exam? It would say literally this. Now, I want to show you guys the same question. It says to solve when it says to factorize. What does factorize mean? Put it into brackets, correct? So 4x squared minus 16x plus 15. Do you see in this one, it's equal to 0. In this one, it's equal to nothing. Is that clear, guys? This is an expression. The other one is a equation. So how do we deal with it? There can be two questions that can come up. So we do the sum minus 16. We do the product, which is 15 times 4, which is 60. Numbers are, what are the two numbers, guys? That would be minus 10 and a minus 6, isn't it? Minus 10 times minus 6 is positive 60. If you add them, you get minus 16. Everyone agree with that? Those are the numbers. And now what do? I take x is equal to, change the sign of 10, divide by 4. X is equal to, change the sign of 6, divide by 4. So I can simplify this as 5 by 2, x equals 3 by 2. Is that clear, everyone? So these are your solutions. You stop there when you have the question asking you to solve. Any questions for me? That was super clear. I hope it was clear. Okay. Now we are going to, if it was to factorize, We literally do the same thing here too, but with one added step. We will cross multiply that 2 with the x. And we will move that 5 to the other side. So this becomes 2x minus 5, one bracket. Was that clear, guys? Struggling with that? Over here, what would you do? We would cross multiply that 2 with the x and move the 3 to the other side. So it will look like 2x minus 3. Done. Factors. One more step. Oh, is everyone happy with it? So just to make sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tell me the number if you're struggling with any of those steps. Hmm. So when I told the steps, you guys were typing the number 1 in. Okay, okay. So guys, quickly I'll go through step 4, 5, 6. Fair enough, yeah? You see this number I got? Change the sign. Is that okay, everyone? We need to change the sign. And that's how I'm getting that 10 and 6. And we will divide by the number in front of x squared, which is 4. And all I have done to go from that step, which is 4, to a 5, is simplify it. I just simplified the fraction. So in this question, it was asking you to factorize, correct? Which means you need to put into brackets. So all I'm doing is the reverse of it. Look, I'll show you something. I'm just going to write it at the bottom here, okay? So let's just say if you had 2x plus 5 equal to 0, how would you make x the subject, guys? I want to make x alone. I would move that 5 to the other side. Would you agree? So we have 2x equal to negative 5. And then you would divide by a 2. So x equals minus 5 by 2. So if you guys were to reverse this, what would you do? What would you do? You cross multiply that 2. So you get 2x equal to minus 5. And then you move the 5 back. So 2x plus 5 equal to 0. Got it? Did you guys understand? So I did these steps and I went the reverse way. I just put all the numbers together with x. So if you ever have a number at the bottom, what would you do? If you're taking it to the other side, you're going to cross multiply it all the time. Yes, that's a simple way, guys. I don't want you guys to think that it is too hard. It's a very simple algebraic manipulation. Now, I'll explain that to you again. So let me rub this off. 5 and 6. So we have x equal to 5 by 2 and x equal to 3 by 2. Agree, everyone? That's our solution. You guys are clear so far? And now we need to put it into brackets, correct? So all you guys need to do is multiply by 2 here and 2 here. So 2 and 2 cancel. Would you agree with that? Okay, some of you guys are having some issue there. Is step 1, 2, 4 clear? Ian, which step are you understanding? Is anyone okay? This is put put a thumbs down if you're not clear with any of these steps at all. Like at all, you don't get this. Okay, only 5 and 6. Okay. John, were you here last week? Okay, 1 second, guys. Okay, what we're going to do, simplify this. We'll do a few more examples, okay? So when you simplify this, you get x equal to 5 by 2 and x equal to 3 by 2. Super clear with that. We just simplified fractions. Okay. Now we need to put that into brackets, which we are doing the opposite of making x the subject. So if you guys had x equal to 5 by 2, how would you get rid of this 2? I want to get rid of that 2. Why, I will tell you in a second, but how would you get rid of it? You would multiply both sides with a 2, correct? So I multiply here with a 2 and here with a 2. So the 2 and that 2 would just cancel off. Would you guys agree with that? Yeah. So we had 2x equal to 5 now, correct? Yeah. And we just need to move the 5 to the other side to keep it together. So 2x minus 5 equal to 0. That's one of your factor. Did you understand? Yeah? Did you guys understand what I did there? Okay. Now I'm going to do all of it in one step. Cross multiply the 2. Cross multiply the 2. So can I write 2x equals 5, 2x equals to 3, and take the 5 to there, take the 3 here, 2x minus 5 and 2x minus 3. Done. Did you get that? That's okay. This, if you guys, listen, guys, I'll tell you something. Do you know when maths is becoming easy? When you understand algebra from the very basic. So if you guys, you see, I am moving these numbers, cross multiplying, I'm moving that 3. It became negative. Do you guys have problems when I do that? How many of you have problems when I do this? When I move terms around, division. If you anyone have problem, that means your algebra, the base of it, is not very strong. There is some gaps in knowledge. Do you get me? Especially with fractions and cross multiplication. So later on, I have a lesson just after this. Let me know, and I'll tell you which part to watch in the masterclass, and it will be clear for you guys. Okay? If you have that base not cleared, even if you go to, even if you go and do X number of lessons, you will still have this, the level of confidence will not be as much. Okay? So here I'm breaking down all the steps behind this. There's nothing to break down further on this. Okay? So let's do a few more quickly. So I'll take you through a few exam style questions and I want to show you how it will look like. Not that. Some of these are, yes, this is an exam style question. Let's quickly go over this. I know it's bright white now. Let's go through it. Let's go for factorization initially. Just a second, guys. Let's go for this one. A bit simple number. Oh, I have the sum minus 9. Product is that number multiplied with 2. So this is 20. You got to find the numbers. Let's say you're not sure what those numbers are. You got to find two numbers. So what do? We go break down what are the factors of 20? 4 and 5. Then we have 20 and 1 and 10 and 2. Which pair would give you somehow an addition to 9 or subtraction to 9? 3D, look at it again. Uh, oh, I felt like your comment came okay. I don't know. Uh, I think, did you comment or did you just take away? 4 and 5, right? So that would be a -4 and -5. Cool? Everyone? Yeah? -4 and -5. Okay. It has to be negative because we have a -9 here. By the way, when I wrote down, listen to me, when I wrote down these numbers, I did not include the signs. It could be -4, -5. I just wrote down the factors of 20 just like that. Now you guys need to decide whether it's going to be a negative or a positive. So we do have a -9. So only when you multiply -4 and -5, when you add them, you get -9. And when you multiply -4 and -5, you get 20. So you need to be aware of the signs that these numbers are having. Is that clear, Sarah? Yeah? Did you get it? Okay, now, oh, don't worry. Okay, now you have this. Now what are we going to do? We are going to take x is equal to, take that -4, change the sign. So that would be 4 by 2. Where is this 2 coming from? It's the number in front of x squared. And x equals 5 by 2. Done. So x equals to 2 and x equal to 5 by 2 are your what? Solutions. But it says to factorize, correct? We need to put into brackets. So just take this 2 to the other side so we have x minus 2. And as I said before, you would cross multiply that 2 with the x. So that is 2x. And take the 5 to the other side, so it's -5. These are your factors. We would do this because this is a harder quadratic expression. Did you understand this, Elsha? You okay? Everyone? Did you guys understand this? Now, a bit detailed about your homework. Some of you guys are just relying on the lesson, and this is super important. I had a student just teaching about why are you not dividing by two? Just a second, guys. I will answer your questions. I'll tell you about it. With the homework, you see, I taught you guys how to solve. What was our topic today? Solving quadratics, the simple and the harder. That's it. We're clear about what we need to be, what is taught today, correct? All I want you guys to do is there is a white sheet in the platform. You can download it and do 2 to 3 questions a day. Do you get me, guys? I know maybe at school you're going through any maybe other topics. So if you can print this out and just do 2 to 3 questions, it shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes to do this. 10 minutes. And if you guys are doing that, there's no way you will forever forget it. And when this is taught at school, you can teach your teacher, hey, teacher, this is a method, alternate method. What do you think? Maybe. And in the booklet, there are so many. There are about, I don't know. There will be more if you need, I can upload. I think it's about 15, 20 pages so far. So you guys can take that. Whenever you find a topic and you find quite a lot of pages in it, that means that topic has been asked in the past exam quite a lot. Please pay attention to it. And whatever I'm teaching you, this is fully in use later on, guys. So this will come up in higher tier GCSE math exam. Not once, multiple times. You can have what you did, you see what you did here? It could be hidden inside a question. Are you guys with me? This is hidden inside probability. So if you're clear about it, the sooner you get to that, you know what to do. Okay? Yes, Janvi, yes, it would be. Okay, so a couple of questions. Why are you dividing? Why are you not dividing by two? I did divide by two, there and there. How did you get to 4 by 2? That's just division. You see, 4 by 2 is 2. Yes. Okay, I hope that was clear for you guys. Any questions for me? Let's do a quick one. Can you guys get the answer for this? It's asking you solve. Can you guys tell me the answer? I want you to take your time. Okay, we have another 4 minutes. Take your 4 minutes and get to an answer. I want x is equal to whatever and x is equal to whatever. Okay, I've one answer so far. Ah, that answer was corrected. I want both answers, guys. Okay, all right. Okay, Janvi, looks like that is correct. Come on, guys, use your big brains. So the actual answer is all right, Nirav. Okay, okay. Dhridi, do you want to check on the signs? Just check on the signs. Okay, everyone? Okay, okay, okay. I have a few mixed answers here, some in fraction, some not in fraction, some in decimal. Let's see this, okay? So what's the sum here? Negative 19. Check you're working with me, okay? What's the product? Minus 5 times 4, minus 20. Okay? Now, this is a tricky one. Not that tricky, but still a little bit tricky. What are the factors of 20, guys? 4, 5, 20, and 1, and 10 times 2. Which pair would get you 19 somehow? This one, 20 and 1. Now, you guys need to come up with the sign for it. Okay? So that would be a minus 20 and positive 1. Only when you add that, when you have minus 20 and a positive 1, you get 9 minus 19. And of course, when you multiply minus 20 and 1, you will get minus 20. Okay, so your x answer is 20 by 4, which is x equals to 5. And the other answer would be minus 1 by 4. That's it. How many of you guys got that right? Now, in case if you didn't get it right, don't worry. You got so if you got a minus 5, that means maybe you might have made an error here. I think it is 17 in the masterclass. Go through quadratic, factorizing quadratics. A two lesson in there that should fix every problem. Whatever I've explained, it's animated for you guys. Every step there is, it's written, and you guys gonna get it. All right. Now, this week, if you know this, I'm telling you, guaranteed, guaranteed plus 12 marks in your exam. I'm so sure. There's no GCSEs without this at all. Okay? So I hope that was clear, guys. I will see you guys next week.